Hey, here's a tip for team parent. Steps and skips. What are we talking about by steps and skips on the staff? So a step is when we move from one note right to the next note. So like a line to a space or a space to a line. And they're right next to each other. A skip is when we go from space to space or line to line. The two notes are not actually right next to each other and they're not touching. So if you're thinking in terms of the alphabet, an A to a B is a step and an A to a C is a skip. Now when you have skips, they can be really large, from all the way to the bottom of the staff up to the top of the staff. And where it gets confusing is you can have a skip where it goes from a line to a space or a space to a line, but isn't that our definition of step? So the big difference is step is when the notes are right next to each other. So let me show you what I mean. So the steps. A step is actually like walking up the steps if you do it correctly and you're not skipping anything, one foot right after another, each level getting higher. But as you know, children like to skip their steps and have several steps in between. So a step, meaning a line to a space or a space to a line, and they're neighbors, they're touching. So a line to a space, or you could have a space to a line, so right next to each other like that. So those are steps. Skip. You can have a space to a space or a line to a line like this. So here's a space to a space or a line to a line. Okay, and this is a skip because right here in between is another note. You see that X on the, okay, there's another note right there in between. And then here, this is a skip because there is a note in between. So you need at least one note in between for that skip. But like I was saying, this is where it kind of gets a little confusing because you can have a skip from this space to this line. Okay, there are some notes in between here. There's one and here's another one. Okay, and this could also be a skip. This line all the way down to this space. Okay, and again, you have lots of notes in between here, like that. Okay, so again, a step. So when we go from line to space or space to line and they're neighbors, they're actually touching. A skip could be a space to a space. Skips have notes in between, or a line to a line, right? Or a space to a line with at least one note in between, and the last one, a line to a space with at least one note in between. So I hope that helps you understand the difference between steps and skips. Thanks for watching.